exchange not only students, but we are talking about exchange knowledge, experience, best practices. Our best students have opportunity to become an employee of this clinical basis and start their career.
Language is seen as a barrier.
سلام السلام عليكم konnichiwa merhaba merhaba
So how students can adapt.
For 1 year to learn Russian language in this department. We have special scholarships. All your education at RUDN University will be funded by our government. Make a very good and very powerful career, and I believe that our cooperation, India and Russia, together we can build our very bright, brilliant, I would say, future.
Hi, good morning, Dr. Kirill. So I'm Dr. Vikas Gupta from Asia Pacific Institute of Management, Jasolo, Delhi. And I'm happy to welcome Dr. Kirill to this special episode. And this podcast is about from India to Russia, academic mobility, global exposure, and new learning pathways with RUDN University. So first of all, very warm welcome, Dr. Kirill.
Thank you.
I'm so delighted to welcome you. So Dr. Kirill, he's from RUDN University. He's PhD in law, head of international activities and PR department at RUDN University. So let's just begin, this conversation, and we are so happy to have you here in this program. So for the prospective students, who are looking for this MBA healthcare program. Especially from this Indo-Russia kind of context, how does this academic mobility benefit not just individual students but entire health care ecosystems?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Vikas. It's really a pleasure to be here with you and to talk with you. A few words about RUDN University and about me, maybe my experience. So you're absolutely right. At this moment I'm a head of international department of Institute of Medicine at our big RUDN University. I have good experience in the sphere of international activities. I started my career since 2018, and that's why, of course, I have 8-year experience of international activities. I started as specialist, then I was first assistant of Deputy Director of International Affairs of the Institute of Medicine, now a head of international department, and from this May, I will be Deputy Director for International Affairs of the Institute of Medicine at RUDN University. So, of course, I have some experience in this field. So, a few words about our RUDN University. RUDN University is one of the biggest universities of Russia. We have more than 40,000 students, and about 12,000 it's only international students. We have students from 160 countries of the world, so more than 160 countries of the world. So the RUDN University is the most international university of Russia. I would say that it's just not a university, but it's very, very big, very important project, educational project for all our country, for our state, governmental project. So, and of course, one of the sphere that I am responsible for, this is academic mobility. Academic mobility, our staff, our faculty, our students with other countries, with our other students, with our other universities. And of course, when we are talking about academic mobility, we are talking about exchange not only students, but we are talking about exchange knowledge, experience, best practices between our countries. Yes, when student come to your country, for example, our student come to your country, the student has opportunity to see all of your best practices that you can show for all over the world. Yes, and the same when your students come to our state, our country, our hospitals. Yes, so of course, India and Russia, it's very big countries. Yes, very big states. And we have absolutely, I'm sure that we have all opportunities to build very perfect and smart, I would say, smart intelligence healthcare system. Yes, and I think we could build it together. And of course, this exchange of experience, this exchange of best practices improve our improve our stability of our system, improve our development of our healthcare system at all. I would say this one.
So, thanks, Dr. Kirill. So, you mentioned that, it definitely helps in building the healthcare system back there in, Russia, which is very powerful, because for students who will be going there as a part of this, curriculum, they will definitely have an opportunity to be an active member
Of course.
of the healthcare ecosystem in Russia. Yeah. And that is where I think you also briefly touched upon an important point. So, what comes to my mind is that, so why is, India-Russia collaboration, proven so successful, especially in the medical education for our prospective students?
Okay.
So would you like to throw some light on this?
As I said, Russia and India, very, very big countries with very large markets, yes. And healthcare market and healthcare system, it's very big also opportunity to collaborate. And I would say that firstly, of course, when we are talking about Indian-Russian collaboration in education system, as we have very good example. Firstly, we are talking about joint educational programs, right? And honestly, if we are talking about this question, joint educational programs, honestly, for Russia, it's not an easy question. It's not easy opportunity to collaboration. I can explain why. In the Russian Federation, we have very, very strict standards. Standards in in sphere of medicine and in medical education. Yes, and usually when we're talking about creating some joint educational programs, usually it's difficult because, of course, all countries have absolutely other standards in this sphere, and that's why we are open. Usually, we are open to collaborate in the sphere in the degrees of master's degree, yes, residency, PhD, etc. But if we're talking about undergraduate education, it's difficult because our basic fundamental education in medical sphere is absolutely very, very strict. We have very, very strict rules and very, very, very strict standards. Because, for example, when we're talking about general medicine, dentistry, we don't have bachelor degree in this sphere. We name it specialist degree. Yes, and of course, in approximately all over the world, absolutely different way. Yes, bachelor, master, etc., etc. Yeah, that's why we're open to collaborate in master's degree. We have a master's program, and in MBA, as we have also the program residency and PhD. Yeah, because it's a little different. And of course, when we're talking about creating joint educational program between Russian university and Indian university, firstly, we can talk about cost-effective program, I would say, yes, because we understand that adequate price for these educational services, yes, absolutely, and also we understand what we can do and what we can provide for our future students in this field, yes, for this price, yes. And I think it's our main strong part of our collaboration, that we have creating cost-effective programs, but very useful for our students, because they have opportunity, yes, to see best practices of Indian part and of Russian part in one program, I would say.
So I think pretty much you have, Dr. Krill, touched few important aspects. I think what springs to my mind is probably now how RUDN University, specifically if I ask that, so what are its USP, to a global academic talent who wants to have a global campus experience? I understand that, in the larger canvas, students can benefit from the cost effectiveness, cultural nuances, and things like that. But what and how RUDN University, helps to sharpen the global talent who comes and study there?
Honestly, I can tell about RUDN University for a long time because honestly,
Sure.
we have a lot of opportunities for our students. Firstly, of course, the first one, this is absolutely good opportunities for education, of course. But also, at this moment, RUDN University is trying to become not only educational organization, but we're also trying to become research organization, scientific organization, yes. And all in this moment right now, our high management really invests a lot of money to laboratories, to research industries, etc. Because we understand that the future for the research, not only for educational one, yes. Because at this moment we're a very perfect educational organization, but we're trying to become not only educational organization, but very also one of the best research organization in our country and in the world. Also, if we're talking about other opportunities, this is we have really a lot of. For example, we have some grants for our students that for young scientists that if they, for example, write some good scientific article, they can have a grant for further research in this field. For example, of course, we're talking about articles in Scopus and Web of Science, of course, journals, Scopus, Web of Science. Also, for example, if we're talking about other part of development and growth of our students, for example, we have a very good cultural club. Yes, for our students, where can they also know about other cultures, about other talents from other countries, yes, where they can, for example, dance, yes, where they can try to organize some performance, etc., together from all students from absolutely different regions of our Earth. Also, of course, if we're talking about medical education, our Institute of Medicine of RUDN University, we created a very good and very expensive simulation training center. Yes, one of the best in our country, in Russia. Our also high management also invested a lot of money to this center. So this center where our students can work without any fear, yes, to make a mistake. Yes, with, for example, when you working with patients, you have this. You think that you can make a mistake, yes, in this field, but
Sure.
when you're working without patient, but absolutely very expensive, good, for example, surgery table, yes, with, for example, some other gadgets, very smart, so you don't have this fear, yes, and you can practice your skills. So, and of course, also, for example, because we are international university, for example, all our students have own student organization of their country. For example, Indian students has organization has own club of Indian students. For example, Tanzanian students has their own club, Tanzanian club, etc., etc. Each country, yes. So also, for what? This club can protect, can help our students to decide any problems during education process.
Sure.
We understand that it can be yes, and we create these clubs for all countries in this case. So because we understand that when foreign students came to Russia, of course we understand immigration policy, of course we understand, yes, dormitory problems, etc., etc. Yes, and this club we create for deciding all of these problems of our students, so they can have opportunity, not thinking about these problems, think about education, research, and development, I would say.
Sure. So I think very kind of powerful things I heard, Dr. Kirill. So you mentioned about research labs, which is where a lot of focus is there of RUDN University. Besides keeping these almost, if I say, mini cultural labs for students who come and bring their own cultural nuances. So there is a two-way exchange of cultural best practices and things like that. So Indian students learn about the culture of Russia, but at the same time, Russian students and students from other countries also learn about the Indian culture as well. And I think that's very very powerful for any of the students who are coming there. And that kind of a was kind of bringing a question for me. Question for you is, so students cultural and intellectual growth
Of course.
happens
Of course.
when they are there at RUDN
Of
University.
course.
And if you could share for our young prospective students with an example which probably will help them to relate.
Okay. For example, if I'm talking about professional and academic, yes, growth. For example, at RUDN University, we have also a special department for helping our students in future recruitment, for example. Of course, also RUDN University, or I would say Institute of Medicine RUDN University, we have a lot of agreements with different hospitals in Moscow. Because I would say Moscow really the leader, one of the leaders in the world, if I'm talking about healthcare system. And we have more than 320 clinical bases in Moscow. We have agreements, special agreements, I mean, and state hospitals and private hospitals. And so we have also this opportunity not only for practical skills, yes, for growth practical skills for our students, but also, of course, further on, our best students have opportunity to become an employee of this clinical basis and start their career. So also, if we're talking about academical growth, yes, our also best students can be part of our team. And not only Russian students, but foreign students also. I have a lot of colleagues, firstly teaching staff, yes, from other countries, not from Russia. For example, even in my department, international department, I have employees, one from Iran and one from Azerbaijan. So,
I see.
And it's this is administrative staff. So that's why, if students really want to be a professional in Russian system at RUDN University, we also can provide this opportunity. But of course, we have some requirements to the students. Of course, firstly, because when we're talking about Russian healthcare system, the main requirement, this is knowledge of Russian language, because of course all our healthcare system is built in the framework of Russian language. Of course, because patients don't speak other languages, only Russian. So if we're talking about administrative staff of RUDN University, almost the same, because we are working not only foreign students, yes, because we also have to work with ministries, agencies, federal, I mean, yes, with Ministry of Higher Education of Russia, and of course the Russian knowledge is necessary, yes, to write letters, yes, etc., to write orders, etc. So, and of course, when we're talking about international sphere, of course, our colleagues have to know English, yes. Also, we like to take employees with knowledge of also second language. For example, I also speak French and my colleagues speak Spanish, etc. So it's very, of course, if we're talking about international sphere, it's very important to know international languages at nowadays, and also for medical staff, I would say.
So I think pretty much again some very powerful messages, Dr. Kirill. So one is that you mentioned that approximately 320 plus
Basis.
kind of a places RUDN has kind of a tie up in some of the other ways. Yeah. So students who are going there as a student, they will have an opportunity to also get some practical trainings, practical exposure
Of course.
in these partners of RUDN University. Number one. Number two, you also mentioned about them being absorbed in some ways in the RUDN University, because you mentioned a couple of examples of an Iranian and an Azerbaijan residents who are part of the your team.
For my team.
Yeah. So that's very powerful, and kind of a you touched on this importance of Russian language. So that is where a question comes to my mind is, and this is usually language is seen as a barrier, yeah,
Of course.
for students who wants to come for like from India. So what is your message and how so how students can adapt when thinking about RUDN Russia. So would you like to share your thoughts?
Of course, we understand that Russian language is difficult. Of course, we understand it. And that's why RUDN University has a special department of Russian language for foreign citizens. We have special departments
I see.
where foreign students, foreign, I would say, future students that would like to study at RUDN University has opportunity to, for 1 year, to learn Russian language in this department. Yes, and usually almost all students that want to have education in RUDN University, they spend this year only for learning Russian language. Yes, we will say it's something zero course. Not first, the zero course before the students will start their basic education. Yes, also during this period they also can learn, for example, chemistry, biology, not only Russian. Yes, chemistry, biology. If we're talking about medical specialties, yes. If we're talking about other specialties, of course, it will be another subjects, of course. But the main base that for this year they have to learn Russian language, and then after this year they will get an official certificate of learning Russian language, and with this certificate they can go not only to RUDN University, they can be a student of all universities of Russia. Yes, because we have an official system for foreign students who want to study in Russia, that they have to have this official certificate of knowledge of Russian language. If we are talking about Russian language programs, because for example at RUDN University we have English language programs, and for these students who wants to study in English language programs, it's not necessary. So they can be a student immediately from the first course, because they don't need to know Russian language fluently at this moment. But Russian language, it will be obliged discipline for them, and they will learn Russian language for all period of their studying at RUDN University, for example. So, for example, if we're talking about dentistry, they will learn Russian language for all 5 years of this learning at RUDN University, of studying at RUDN University.
Got it. So you said that there is definitely so basically two things I heard, Dr. Kirill, you said. One is, while there is an opportunity for a student to continue his or her education in English from day one, but at the same time there is a so to say bridge program for learning Russian language available in RUDN University. So especially for students who are going from India, for example, so that is where they can complement their knowledge of Russian language by learning while studying this program.
And I would say that if I'm talking about, for example, if students would like to study at RUDN University, for example, for budget money, I mean, we have special scholarships that provided by our government, Russian government. And if, for example, Indian student wants to get this scholarship, Russian language is necessary, because our government is giving these scholarships only for Russian language programs. But I think it's also a good deal, yes, because all your education at RUDN University will be funded by our government if you will study in Russian.
Absolutely. So, more or less, I have kind of a very, very informative discussion so far, Dr. Kirill. So, one final thing which comes to my mind is what will be your message for be it the students or the parents who are still unsure that should they or should they not enroll for MBA healthcare program in collaboration between Asia Pacific and RUDN University?
Of course. I understand that parents may have some doubts about this question because, of course, it's very far from homeland, from India. Yes, our country maybe seems it cold, etc. Maybe for you it's truth, because for us, for example, plus 40 degrees is awful weather. It's too hot. But if I'm talking about message to parents, of course, so parents have to understand that this program is very good opportunity for their children, for the students to make a very good and very powerful career in our market, not only in Indian market but also in Russian market, because they will have opportunity to know our culture. They will have basic Russian language, they will have our principles, our rules, and I think it's very important because in Indian and Russian markets, this are growing markets, and both our countries have a lot of opportunities, and this is, I would say, this program, this is the gate to these opportunities, I would say.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, thank you so much, Dr. Kirill, for, this so many, phenomenal insights for our prospective students. So, I think there are a few key messages I have picked up, and that's what I will just, kind of, highlight for students and parents. So one is definitely it's a very cost-effective program, which is what is there. Then students learn both the cultural nuances of both India and Russia. Third is definitely some students have the research oriented, so definitely there is a phenomenal opportunities, which is what is there. Plus kind of employment opportunities are there because there is a tie-up with 320 plus organizations and also within RUDN, and also kind of foreign students have an opportunity to learn Russian language as well, but at the same time that is not a hindrance for them, because they can also pursue their studies in English,
Of course.
as well. So anything you wanted to add on top of this?
Just a few words. I would say that today our world is changing very fast. Yes, and I believe that our relationships between India and Russia is very good base for development to build our very bright, brilliant, I would say, future. Yes, for all of our countries and for our nations. And I believe that our cooperation and in India and Russia together we can manage this changing and to build our future. I would say it this way.
So thank you so much everybody for being part of this so informative podcast, Dr. Kirill, and I'm sure each one of our audience have something or the other as their takeaway from this program. And doing this kind of a phenomenal program, which is a collaboration jointly offered by Asia Pacific and RUDN University, will give them good solid start to their careers. So thank you so much everybody for their time, and of course very big thank you to you, Dr. Kirill.
Thank you, Dr. Vikas. It's my pleasure to be here.
So thank you everybody for patiently listening to this podcast, and I'm sure so with this all of you would be just go and have a visit of Asia Pacific Institute of Management website, and do look at this phenomenal program which is offered jointly by Asia Pacific and RUDN University, and I'm sure you have got your why you should join this program from this podcast. But at the same time, if you have a follow-up query, please go and check with our admissions team as well. And thank you so much once again for your time today in this podcast. Thank you.